Have you ever noticed that the more you chase peace, the further it seems to slip away? You try to fix everyone around you. You worry about what people think. You replay old conversations in your mind. You carry regrets from yesterday and fears about tomorrow. Until one day, you wake up exhausted, not because life is too hard, but because your mind has never learned how to be still. The painful truth is this: most people spend their entire lives trying to control things that were never theirs to control, while completely neglecting the only thing that truly belongs to them, themselves. The Stoics understood a secret that still feels revolutionary today. Real peace is not found by escaping the world. It is found by returning to yourself. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Stoic Hypnosis channel. In this video, you will discover why focusing on yourself is not selfish, but one of the greatest acts of wisdom. More importantly, you will learn how this simple shift can transform anxiety into clarity, emotional chaos into inner peace, and ordinary discipline into unshakable mental strength. Stay with me until the end, because the final lesson may completely change the way you choose to live the rest of your life. Now, let's get started. Part 1. The greatest distraction is not the world, but your own mind. There comes a moment in every person's life when they begin to wonder why peace always feels just out of reach. They work harder, they earn more, they chase success, recognition, love, and approval, believing that one more achievement will finally quiet the restless voice inside. Yet somehow, the noise never stops, because the greatest distraction has never been the world around you. It has always been the world within you. Marcus Aurelius, one of history's most powerful emperors, ruled an empire that stretched across continents. Every day he faced political conspiracies, wars, betrayal, and impossible decisions. Yet in the pages of his private journal, he rarely complained about other people. Instead, he constantly reminded himself of one simple truth: you have power over your mind, not outside events. Those words have survived for nearly 2,000 years because they reveal something timeless. Most suffering begins the moment we hand our peace over to things we cannot control. Someone ignores your message. Your mood changes. A stranger criticizes you. Your confidence disappears. Plans fail. Your hope fades. Little by little, you allow the outside world to become the author of your emotional life. Without realizing it, you have surrendered the only kingdom that truly belongs to you. The Stoics believe that every human being possesses an inner fortress, a place that no insult, disappointment, or misfortune can enter unless we open the gate ourselves. But most people leave that gate wide open. Every opinion becomes a wound. Every rejection becomes proof that they are not enough. Every obstacle becomes another reason to doubt themselves. And so, they spend years trying to change the world, never realizing that the real battle has always been taking place inside their own minds. Think about your own life for a moment. How much energy have you spent trying to control people who refuse to change? How many sleepless nights have you lost replaying conversations that can never be rewritten? How often have you delayed your own happiness, waiting for someone else's approval? Perhaps the first step toward inner peace is not adding something new to your life. Perhaps it is finally letting go of everything that was never yours to carry. Because the moment your attention returns to yourself, the world begins to lose its power over you. And that is where real strength quietly begins. Part 2. Stop looking outside for what can only be found within. One of the greatest illusions we are taught from an early age is that happiness lives somewhere outside of us. We are told that when we finally earn enough money, when we meet the right person, when people admire us, when life becomes easier, and then, and only then, will we finally feel complete. So we spend years chasing one destination after another. But every destination leads to another. Every achievement creates a new expectation. Every success brings a new fear of losing it. And without realizing it, we become trapped in a race with no finish line. People change. Fortunes change. Health changes. Relationships change. Even your own body changes with time. If your happiness depends on things that constantly change, then your happiness will constantly disappear with them. Epictetus once taught that freedom begins the moment we clearly separate what is within our control from what is not. You cannot force someone to understand you. You cannot make everyone appreciate your kindness. You cannot stop people from leaving. You cannot prevent time from changing everything you love. The harder you resist these realities, the more exhausted your soul becomes. Imagine standing in the middle of the ocean, trying to stop the waves with your bare hands. No matter how determined you are, the sea will never obey you. Eventually, wisdom whispers something different. Do not fight the ocean. Learn how to navigate it. Life is no different. The storms will continue. Unexpected losses will still arrive. People will disappoint you. Plans will collapse. But suffering becomes lighter the moment you stop demanding that reality match your expectations. This is why focusing on yourself is not about becoming indifferent to the world. It is about redirecting your energy toward the only place where genuine transformation is possible. Your thoughts, your choices, your habits, your character. That is the ground beneath your feet. Everything else is weather. The remarkable thing is that when you stop chasing control over everything around you, you slowly begin to master the one thing that has been waiting for your attention all along, your own mind. And once that journey begins, peace no longer feels like something you must search for. It becomes something you quietly carry wherever you go. Before we continue, I'd like to ask you one simple question. What is one thing you've been trying to control that was never truly within your control? Take a moment to think about it. Sometimes the first step toward inner peace isn't finding a new answer. It's finally letting go of an old struggle. If this video has already given you a new perspective, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to read today. And if you're enjoying this journey into Stoic wisdom, consider subscribing to the channel. Every week, we explore timeless principles that help you build emotional resilience, quiet confidence, and lasting inner peace in a world that constantly demands your attention. Now, let's continue, because the next lesson reveals why the strongest people are not those who control the world around them, but those who have learned to master the world within. Part 3. The quiet power of becoming your own priority. There is a quiet transformation that happens the moment you stop asking, "How can I make the world appreciate me?" and begin asking, "How can I become someone I deeply respect?" At first, the difference seems small, but in reality, it changes everything. Most people spend their lives living from the outside in. They allow compliments to determine their confidence, criticism to determine their worth, success to determine their happiness, failure to determine their identity. Without realizing it, they hand the steering wheel of their lives to people who are often too busy with their own struggles to think about them for more than a few moments. The Stoics chose a different path. Instead of seeking admiration, they sought alignment. Alignment between their thoughts and their actions, between their values and their decisions, between the person they appeared to be and the person they truly were when no one was watching. Because they understood something that modern life constantly tries to make us forget. Self-respect is earned in private. It is built in the moments no one applauds. When you keep your promise to wake up early, when you choose patience instead of anger, when you refuse to betray your principles, even if no one would ever know. These invisible victories shape your character far more than public success ever could. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that a good life was not measured by how many people admired him, but by whether he had acted with wisdom, justice, courage, and self-discipline before the day was over. Imagine ending each evening with that question instead of asking, "Did people like me today?" How different would your life become? How much unnecessary anxiety would disappear? How much freedom would quietly return? The truth is, the person who is constantly seeking validation can never fully relax. Their happiness depends on opinions they cannot control. One compliment lifts them. One criticism breaks them. One rejection convinces them they are not enough. It is an exhausting way to live, but the moment you become your own standard, everything begins to change. You no longer need every room to approve of you. You no longer feel compelled to explain every decision. You stop arguing with people who misunderstand you. You stop chasing relationships that require you to abandon yourself. You stop measuring your worth by numbers, applause, or attention. Instead, your energy begins flowing inward, toward your habits, your discipline, your health, your knowledge, your integrity. These are investments that never betray you. And slowly, almost without noticing, something remarkable happens. The peace you spent years searching for in other people begins growing inside you. Part 4. Protect your peace. Like it is your greatest treasure. There comes a point in life when you realize that peace is not something you accidentally stumble upon. It is something you deliberately protect. Most people believe that inner peace is fragile because life is unpredictable. But the Stoics believed the opposite. Peace is not destroyed by difficult circumstances. It is destroyed when we allow every circumstance to enter our minds without question. Imagine your mind as a beautiful garden. Every thought is a seed. Every conversation is a visitor. Every habit is water. Now ask yourself, who or what have you been allowing into that garden? Have you been watering gratitude or resentment, discipline or distraction, wisdom or endless comparison? The answer to that question explains far more about your life than luck ever could. In today's world, your attention has become one of the most valuable things you own. Every notification competes for it. Every headline demands it. Every opinion invites you to react. Every argument asks you to choose a side. And before long, your mind becomes so crowded with other people's voices that you can no longer hear your own. The Stoics would have recognized this immediately. Although they lived thousands of years before smartphones and social media, they understood that the mind must be guarded with intention. Marcus Aurelius often withdrew into what he called his inner citadel, a place of reflection where no chaos from the outside world could reach him unless he invited it in. That inner citadel still exists. Not in a distant monastery, not on a quiet mountain, but within you. The question is whether you remember to return there. Far too many people wake up and immediately surrender their attention. Before they have even spoken a single thoughtful word to themselves, they have already absorbed the worries, opinions, and expectations of hundreds of strangers. Then they wonder why they feel anxious before the day has truly begun. What if you reverse that habit? What if, instead of reaching for the world's noise, you first reached for your own silence? Just 10 minutes. 10 minutes to breathe, to reflect, to read a page of timeless wisdom, to write down what truly matters, to remind yourself of the kind of person you want to become. That small decision may appear insignificant, but repeated every day, it becomes a new identity, because identity is not built in extraordinary moments. It is built in ordinary moments, repeated consistently. The people who appear mentally unshakable are rarely born that way. Their attention, their emotional energy, their inner peace. This is why focusing on yourself is not about shutting the world out. It is about deciding that not every opinion deserves your attention. Part 5. The strongest person is the one who has found peace within. If there is one lesson the Stoics devoted their lives to teaching, it is this: the greatest victory you will ever achieve is not over another person. It is over yourself. The world celebrates people who conquer markets, build empires, gain influence, and collect admiration. But history has shown us something remarkable. Many people who appeared powerful on the outside lived in constant conflict within themselves. They had wealth, but no contentment, recognition, but no peace, success, but no freedom. Because no external achievement can silence an undisciplined mind. That is why focusing on yourself is not a retreat from life. It is the highest preparation for it. When your mind is calm, your decisions become wiser. When your emotions are steady, your relationships become healthier. When your character becomes stronger, life begins to feel lighter, even when the challenges remain the same. This is the quiet paradox of Stoicism. The world around you may not change immediately, but the way you experience the world changes completely. A delayed opportunity no longer feels like failure. It becomes preparation. A difficult conversation no longer feels like a threat. It becomes practice. A setback no longer feels like the end of your story. It becomes another chapter in your growth. Nothing outside has changed, yet everything inside has. That is real power. Not the power to control people, not the power to dominate circumstances, but the power to remain yourself regardless of circumstances. Think about the people who leave the deepest impression on you. They are rarely the loudest, rarely the most successful, rarely the ones demanding attention. Instead, they possess something far more difficult to describe: a quiet presence, a calm confidence, a sense that they are completely at home within themselves. They do not rush to prove their worth. They do not waste energy competing with everyone around them. They do not allow temporary emotions to dictate permanent decisions. There is a steadiness about them, and that steadiness inspires trust. Why? Because people instinctively recognize someone who has stopped fighting themselves. The Stoics believed that harmony within naturally creates strength without. When your thoughts, values, and actions move in the same direction, life becomes simpler. Not easier, but simpler. You spend less time pretending, less time comparing, less time chasing approval, less time worrying about outcomes beyond your control. Instead, you invest your energy where it has always produced the greatest return: your habits, your discipline, your wisdom, your kindness, your integrity. Conclusion. In the end, the greatest investment you will ever make is not in your career, your reputation, or even your success. It is in the relationship you build with yourself. The world will always be noisy. People will always have opinions. Life will continue to surprise you with both joy and hardship. But when you learn to focus on yourself, strengthen your character, and protect your inner peace, you discover a kind of freedom that no external circumstance can ever take away. So here's one lesson I'd like you to carry with you today. Stop asking the world to become calmer. Become calmer yourself. Instead of trying to control everything around you, spend a few minutes each day mastering your own thoughts, your reactions, and your habits. Over time, these small daily choices will shape a stronger mind, a more peaceful heart, and a life filled with purpose. If this video inspired you, please subscribe to the channel and join us on this journey of Stoic wisdom and personal growth. Your support truly means a great deal and motivates us to continue creating thoughtful, meaningful content that helps people build stronger minds and better lives. Thank you for taking the time to watch until the end of the video. See you in the next videos.